at the beat when you rock the mic. Put your foot on.
So here's a fun question. If the IRS knocked on your door tomorrow and said, give us half your income or we'll take your house, would you call that freedom? Yeah, me neither. That's not liberty. That's a shakedown in a business suit. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian, the only political podcast where we read the Constitution and the receipts. I'm your host, Jeff, part-time comedian, full-time government skeptic, and someone who once asked a politician, if you're spending my money, can I at least pick the wine? Today kicks off a 4-part series asking the question your local GOP fundraiser definitely doesn't want you to ask. What's the real difference between Republicans and Libertarians when it comes to taxes? Because lower taxes mean very different things depending on whether you're wearing a red tie or a porcupine pin. Now, let's compare the philosophies. Let's start with the core philosophy. Libertarians, we don't just want lower taxes, we want no taxes. Because if I can't say no, that's not a contribution, that's extortion with a smile. You think that's extreme? Fine, but let's test it. Try not paying taxes, not because you're broke, not because you're dodging, just because you morally disagree. What happens? You get a letter that says you owe us this. Then you get a bigger letter with a bigger fine. Then a guy in a windbreaker shows up with handcuffs. That's not community service. That's the federal mafia. Libertarians believe the only moral exchange is a voluntary one. Taxation isn't voluntary. It's give us your money or we'll ruin your life. Our platform says all persons are entitled to keep the fruits of their labor. The translation: if I work for it, I keep it. You want to cut? Ask nicely like everyone else. Bake sale, tip jar, maybe sell NFTs of Chuck Schumer crying, which would be hilarious. Republicans on taxes. Now let's talk about the Republicans. Oh, the sweet-talking fiscal flirts of the political world. Republicans say they want lower taxes, and bless their little hearts, they do. They also want a $1.7 trillion defense budget, farm subsidies, 900 overseas military bases, and tax credits for oil companies. Which is like saying you want to lose weight while eating a triple baconator in your car in the parking lot crying. They don't want to end the IRS. They want to tame it. You ever try to house train a Komodo dragon? Me either. And that's the GOP strategy. We need taxes, they say, to fund the military and build the roads. Cool. But do we need this many taxes? And why do these roads always lead directly to lobbyist golf courses? To Republicans, taxation isn't theft. It's bad customer service. It's not the idea of taking your money they hate. It's that the process is slow, bloated, and inefficient. They want a leaner tax system. Libertarians, we want to throw the tax system into the volcano. Yeetus deletus. Now let's get into the moral divide. And here's the heart of it. Libertarians see taxes as a moral wrong. Republicans see them as a necessary evil. And that difference does matter. Let's say you're in a restaurant. The waiter says your total is $50 plus a 30% tip you must pay or we'll take your car. Libertarians would say that's theft. Republicans say, well, at least the service was good and the parking was safe. One's a street preacher shouting, repent from coercion. The other's a shady accountant going, hey, at least I itemized your oppression. Republicans love talking about how we cut taxes under Reagan. Cool, you did. But did they shrink the government? No. Or just change who it served. Spoiler, the federal budget exploded. Military spending exploded. And surveillance spending exploded. And you still paid for it all. Isn't that lovely? All right, let's wrap this up. So, what is the bottom line here? Libertarians want to leave you alone. Republicans want to manage your money. Republicans want to manage your money more efficiently. Big difference. One says, we trust you to make your own choices. The other says, we'll give you more choices within our budget. Libertarians, keep your money. Republicans, you can keep your money if you vote for us. Yeah, that's not how that works. Look, you don't have to agree with libertarians, but you should at least ask yourself this one question. When did asking permission to keep your paycheck become normal? We're not saying roads won't be built. We're saying we could choose how to build them instead of being forced to pay for a bridge to nowhere or a high-speed rail in California, while Congress argues about pronouns. Next episode, we'll break down the numbers: income tax, corporate tax, estate tax, and who's actually walking the talk. Until then, remember, if the government takes 30% of your paycheck before you see it, you're not working for yourself. You're leasing your freedom with no option to buy. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, new videos drop every day. Until next time, stay free, stay informed, and stay accountable.